Good afternoon all. Hopefully quite cool. I think we missed that. Good afternoon all. Hopefully you're all here to join us and looking forward to some fun. We're going to play with our new stencils again today. Just remember that we're doing these Facebook Lives every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. They're Facebook and YouTube Live, so you can go back and watch them all as well. So they're all they all stay recorded on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. So if you just want to follow us on YouTube, if you're not already there, there's loads and loads of little different demo videos on there. Just go onto YouTube and in the search bar you just type in Honeydew Crafts and we should come up. But let's get started with what we're going to do today. So let me just whip that out of the way. So again, we're going to use the stencils, and mask set that we launched on Craftcraft last week. We did one last Wednesday with the circles. We're going to do something with the stars today. We're also, let me show you these. So we've got the hexagons, and you obviously get all the masks in there as well. The circles and the stars. Again, all three you get the masks in there with them, and they are $7.99 for the stencils and masks. So that's a really good deal. We're also going to be using our Hello stamp. I love this. Sometimes it's nice to just send a card just because you can. And if you made a card that you really, really like and you think, oh, who am I going to send it to now? Send it just because you can. So you've got the 3 different fonts in there for the hellos. We're going to be using this one, I believe. Yeah, that's the one I've got out for today. We're going to be using our blending brushes. We probably will only stick with the little one, but I wanted to show you these big ones as well. And they come in these little cases with these little tabs that just clip open. And there's like a little shelf in here, inside here, which this part of your brush sits on, which then stops your brush bristles getting bashed on the bottom of the case. So it protects the brush completely. And obviously they're all nice and easy and can stack up one on top of each other. Obviously we've got our small brush that comes with the little caps on as well to protect those bristles. We're going to be using Memento ink in Nautical blue and our sticky glue. Oh, I didn't bring it over here for the show, but we also got our 200 GSM white cardstock. So should we get started? So our measurements today are super easy. You have an 8x8 card. You have white cardstock 7.5 inch square and a white cardstock 7.25. Or was it 7.25 or 7.5? I think it was 7.5. 7.25. Yeah, 7.25 inch square. I'll just double check that. Yeah, 7.25 inch. So you've got 8x8 card, 7.5 inch, and 7.25 inch. It's as simple as that. So let's get started. Right, so we're going to be working with the stars, as I said. We're going to use the stars masks, and obviously you get lots of different sizes, and there's a couple of different shaped stars. So if you look here, this one's got 7 points on it, this one's got 6 points on it. Oh, I'm trying to pick them all up so you can see them all. So they're the masks that you're going to get. This is such a super easy card. If you saw our Create and Craft show, you will have seen me do this similar with the circles. We're also using our Garden Delight stamp, which is out of stock until this afternoon. So I can't even show you in its packaging, but I can show you my one. So Garden Delight stamp. So it's going to be here in about 20 minutes to an hour, half an hour, and then we'll be back in stock with them. I was going to show it you on my stamp, but my stamp's a bit manky, so you don't really want to close up on that. So all I'm doing is loading my brush. Now I do keep a Pacific brush for this, because obviously the Memento inks, and you wouldn't want to mix that with your Versamark, your Distress Oxides or your Distress inks. So I do try and keep a Pacific. Oh, this is going to be a wobbly camera. So you're just going to work your way round, just literally brushing this on, and you'll end up with something like so. I love this technique. It's so much fun to do. And you can't really go wrong. Pop a little bit of ink in the middle, and then you're just going to work that ink off the side of your mask. I'm doing my very best to make sure this doesn't wobble too much, because I can imagine the camera's a bit wonky. So if you're here, let me push the right button and I can see if anybody's joining me. Send me a little comment to let me know. Hi Sally Ann. Oh blimey, I've missed loads. Let's have a look. Let me go back. Hi Kay, hi Linda, hi Lynn. Hope that shoulder, can't remember, I think it was your elbow, wasn't it? Getting better. Hi Marianne, hi Ellen, Eileen, Jan. And Veronica, blimey, lots of you here already. Hi Sue. Right, so just keep going in and out. Lots of different sizes. Oh, you're going out on me, Carol. That's not fair. These people booking appointments that clash with our Facebook lives, eh? And YouTube lives. So we're just literally going to keep building this up. All the different sizes, shapes. You could even mix and match this with all the other stencils. There's no rights or wrongs with this one. And you don't have to reload the brush every time. You can just keep going in with different sizes and shapes. I think we might pop this one up here as well. And if you don't reload the brush, you'll get different. Some will look more like they're in the foreground, some will look more like they're in the background. Let's go here a bit, I think. We are literally, I mean, I've hardly filled that. I think twice I've reloaded that brush so far. So it's just a really nice little technique. To use up what we have. Oh, it must be getting better then if you've managed to get some crafting done. Hopefully I will finish before you need to go out, Shirley. Joined us twice in a month, or twice in 2 weeks, Shirley. We must have got you hooked on your days off. So reloading again. Hi Jill. So we were away this weekend at the Sincerely Yours show in Leigh. It was so lovely to catch up with everybody up there, and we are, for those of you that keep asking, we are looking for a new venue up there. I promise we'll come up with something, I'm sure. And this weekend is our last show of the year. Can you believe it? Where's this year gone? We will be at the Motorcycle Museum this weekend. It's classed as Coventry, but it's literally on the same roundabout that the NEC's on, but on the opposite side. And it's a really lovely little show. It's really fun. Lots of people there. It's not too big, if you know what I mean. Sometimes they can be too big and not so enjoyable. So this one's a nice little show to come along to if you're in the area. And it's 9 till 3. And we have an early start. We have to get up at like 2 in the morning. But we manage. This is such a quick card to do. We will be having new dies coming out at the beginning of next year, Michael. So watch this space. Unfortunately, the dies take a little bit longer to get put together than our stamps and stencils because they have to be made overseas. There is nobody in this country that makes them. So it's the one of the few products we have that comes in from overseas. Right. Don't know if I should put... How simple is this card? As I say, I did this on Create and Craft with the circles last week, and it is such an easy card to do, and everybody loves this card, but not everybody got to see it. Hi Elizabeth. So hopefully those of you that missed it will get the idea from this. So then we are going to go in with our Garden Delight stamp, and we're going to ink that up with our Memento, and as I say, it's Nautical Blue is the colour that we're using. Hopefully, Carol, you'll be able to watch us on Catch Up. Or it'll be on our Facebook Live anyway. Catch Up, you don't need to go on Catch Up. Just go on Facebook or YouTube and the video will be there, hopefully. We won't have any hiccups after last week's video where I believe it might have cut me short. The wonders of technology. So plenty of ink on there. It's not a huge stamp to do, but you want to make sure you pick up all the detail of that stamp. Now I'm going to try, if this has worked out correctly, roughly pop those 2 seed heads in the middle of those 2 bigger stamps. I'm hoping I've got enough ink on there because I haven't already redone this to replace it if I haven't. So we'll just have to go with whatever we've got, because I wanted to show you right from the beginning how this all works. Bedtime watching Carol. Carol came to our workshops. If you didn't hear last week, she came to our workshops the week before that, I think it was, or the week before that. And let us know that when she goes to bed, she watches all our videos on YouTube. Or should I say, yeah, all of the Honeydew Crafts videos on YouTube. So we're her bedtime watching. Me, I watched Brazilla last night for bedtime watching. Right, so that is that image. So you've got the dusty background, and then we've popped that right in the centre of those stars. Do you know, this would make it like a really nice graduation card or something with the stars. A friend of ours, daughter graduated. She put some pictures up today, and I thought this card would work really well for her. So Rosie, congratulations. Seems strange that my friends' kids are graduating from universities now. And then we've just inked up the hello, and we're just going to pop that. Again, I've chosen to pop it inside one of the larger stars, but you don't have to. You could pop that off to one side. And that's it. That is your layer. That's your topper of your card. Now again, you could go in and fill the whole page up if you wanted to, but you really don't have to. And what are we, 15 minutes in? I've talked about what we were going to do. I've shown you what we were going to do. And now I've made it. All in under 15 minutes. So I'm going to pop that to one side for just one moment and wipe off where that ink has gone on there. Now remember, Memento's a permanent ink, so it dries quite quickly. So don't hang around when you're doing things with it. You could, if you wanted to, emboss that, but I would wait. So if you wanted to emboss this, I would do your background and leave it to dry. Then anti-static bag all over the top, stamp your image out. But I would probably use the Versamark ink onto my stamp before I did the Memento, because Memento and embossing inks, Memento and embossing powders are not the best of friends. They dry a bit too quick for the embossing powders, so you need to give them something to stick to. So we're then going to take that blending brush again, and we're just going to load the brush up. Starting off the page, we're just going to bring that colour in across your matting and layering, because we want it all to layer together and colour coordinate. And this again is, I'm asked all the time what cardstock we use, and this is our super smooth 250 GSM, I believe I've used today. So again, off the page and come in. If it comes in a bit dark in places, that really doesn't matter, because it's a blended background. It doesn't have to be perfect. And bear in mind that you will get ink on the back of your card doing what we're doing here, this technique, it will produce some ink on the back because you're going over the top of this all the time. Because you want to use up what's on your mat. And that is a big tip as well. Make sure you've got the right tools for what you're trying to do. We had a couple of ladies come to our workshops this week, oh no, a couple of weeks ago, and they had, although they work really well, some of the oven tray blending sheets, because they're dark, you can't, most of them are black, you couldn't see where the inks were or what they were doing, and then when they were stamping with a black ink as well, it was making it really difficult. So I know some of the craft mats are a little bit more expensive than they need to be, but they are well worth investing in something like this. I mean, I know it's not beautiful looking at it, the light bounces a bit off this craft mat. I'd need to be using a glass mat really for doing this, but I think the light would bounce even worse at the moment with the daylight that we're having, although we have actually got some daylight. It's been like a black day all day, grey. This is probably 10 years old, so I've had it a long time. So the initial outlay you know about, but well, I think ours are $8.99, something like that. But spend the time, the money on those products because they're going to last you for such a long time. I just want to make sure my hands are clean before I pick this all up. Oh, I'm wondering if I've got frozen on anybody again because everybody's gone quiet, or you're all busy watching. So this is how quick and simple this card is. So there is our blended background. That is the card topper that we've just made, and we'll stick one on top of the other. I'm getting to the end of my glue, so I'm getting not quite enough coming out on me. There we go. Need to treat myself to a new glue. I'm into my blue cards at the moment. That's how simple it is. Now, as you all know, I like to carry my theme through to the inside of my cards. Oh, we appear to have some blue on the inside of this and I haven't even touched it. We'll hide that, shall we? So we're going to take our blending brushes again. Now this is going to be slightly different effect because it's not the smooth cardstock. So just be aware of that. I'm only going to pop in a few little stars on there just so that you know that we've been there. But I don't want to go in too heavy with this. But it is quite a nice little technique to use if you do make a little blunder and do what I've done and put ink on your fingers and pick up your card. So you've got to follow that theme through. We will be back. I promise, Pat, we're coming. At some point we're going to try and get back down south, I promise. We've just been crazy busy and enough time to find a new venue because our last venue wasn't the most successful, was it? So bear with us, Pat. We're trying to come back. Everybody wants us down everywhere. Those in Manchester want us up there. Those in Portsmouth want us down there. I need to clone myself, I think, and be in 10 million places at once. So I'm just going to take a little bit more ink off the ink pad. But I don't want to go on too heavy on here. David, I'm glad you like this card. Although, is it David? David, are you the person that was on here the other day that it was showing up as David, but you weren't David, you were maybe Diane, was it? I have a feeling. The one bad point about this card is the finger you hold it with is going to be the colour that you use. And there's nothing you can do about it unless you put gloves on. I'm not quite going to that extreme. So I'm going to do that corner And then I'm just going to take a couple of little bits up here. And I do quite like the fact that it is going to go over onto the other half of the card, the other side of the card. Just because it will frame your sentiment when you pop it in here. Debbie, I knew it wasn't David. Sorry, Debbie. You must be in on somebody else's account watching us. I'm going to remember that, Debbie, I promise. Elizabeth Castle, how about Wiltshire or Somerset? I can't promise because I can't be everywhere. I do my best to try and cover sort of an area that is easy for everybody to get to. Hi, it's Jean. Maybe you are mentioning my other half, David. Hi, Jean. No, it was Debbie was coming up as David. See, look, now I'm gonna. That's because I stuck my finger in something. So now we're going to put a sentiment in the middle there too. So let me grab my other sentiment. And we will pop a sentiment in there. I'll find something. Because I can't leave that little, you can't see it on the screen, but there's a really heavy blue mark in the middle there. And it would be a bit random to put a star right in the middle there, so I can't get away with that. But we can get away with this, we hope. So I've just grabbed some of my other sentiments. This is our mini sentiments stamp set. And we'll just pop that over the top of our little smudge. There we go. See, now you wouldn't even know that smudge was there. So that's the perk. Again, it dries pretty quick, so don't panic about it, but just give it a second or two to let that ink dry. So that's our inside done. I mean, you could really go to town with this if you really wanted to, but it's just a simple card, and I quite like doing just simple cards sometimes. There's no extra charge. This would go in as a large letter. We've got a whole conversation going on now whether a David's here or not, but I think we've got a David as well. I don't know. We do sometimes have a David watching us. I know we've got Michael. Sometimes David joins us as well if he's on a day off. So maybe not today. So, position that in the middle there. And that's it done. How simple and easy is that card to make? But I think, and I'm not going to take all full claim on this because my mum was playing with these and came up with the original idea, and I just carried on with it. So let's bring this in a little bit closer so you can see. So that's the stars one. Let me grab the other. This was the one I did on TV with the circles. So again, similar idea. You just frame in those two big seed heads, but I really like it with the stars. I think it's just a little bit different. Gel is effective, isn't it? So let me know what you think. I have a feeling we might have frozen. Debbie, you're correct. That was something I was just about to mention, so you stepped right in for us. So those of you that haven't already realised, we have launched a Black Friday sale, which goes from, it started yesterday morning, it goes on until midnight on Friday night, and it includes everything Honeydew Crafts products except our latest release, which is these stencils. Everything else that's Honeydew Crafts that we've got in stock will be there. The one thing we do need to let you know about is we do use Royal Mail, and so there might be a slight delay on that, so please bear with us. Last time we got completely inundated with the emails to say our orders haven't arrived, but there will be a slight delay on those orders coming out. We're going to try and work them so that they don't get too lost within the system. Wonderful Royal Mail. I'm glad you love the card, Jean. Glad you love... Oh, it's beautiful, Elizabeth. I'm sorry, I'm reading your messages. Oh, glad I haven't frozen there either. So, you can pop onto our website. It's not just the sale section that is 20% off. It is all of Honeydew Crafts products. So in every category, if it's Honeydew Crafts' own brand, it's 20% off, which should already be the price that you're seeing. Let's have a look. So it's www.honeydewcrafts.co.uk. Going to start shopping, and it's on there. What else do I need to tell you? We are finished with TV now until after Christmas. We haven't got a date yet for starting back, but we'll let you know when we have those. Might just have to get those stencils. Jill, they are the best stencils. I've used them so much in the last few days. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie's letting us all know that there's lots of... Oh, I keep going in with the wrong finger to swap this over. So I wanted to show you the card again. Everything is available on our website that we've used. So we have used our... I have to use it like this, sorry. Garden Delight stamp set. Have I got a piece of white cardstock I can pop behind there so you can actually see it? There we go. Garden Delight stamp set. So it's one big solid stamp. We have also used, let me grab them here, our 3 stencils, but today we used the stars one, but it comes in circles, stars and hexagons. We've used Hello stamp. We have used Memento Nautical Blue. I'm glad you're planning to join us again, Debbie. We've got the blending brushes in the large and the small. The larger one comes in the solid case, the smaller one comes with its own little cap, and that's the one you've just seen me using. And then obviously we've used Honeydew Crafts sticky glue, and the cardstock we used to make the card was our 200 GSM super smooth white cardstock. So I think that's everything you need to know. My goodness, that was a quick one today, wasn't it? So if anybody's got any questions or anything they would like us to try and explain to you on here, please feel free to email us or pop a question up on here as we're going along, and I'll try and keep up with you and try and answer your questions. Or I think next week I might give you a sneak peek on maybe a last minute Christmas one for those Christmas cards that we've forgotten about. But we'll see, I can't guarantee. Debbie, yes, they are A5-ish, roughly. A rough 5x7-ish. There's not exactly A7, but yeah, they're that kind of size. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you about. No, so if you... oh, and also I forgot to mention that our acrylic blocks are finally back in stock. So all of you that were after the large... that did the workshops, that were after the large square one, that is now back in stock, and we have our sets back in stock. So I know a few of you were struggling with the dotty background on our workshops, so you can now buy that. I think that's everything. That's enough of me waffling. We will be back next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. You're going shopping. Yeah, we're back next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. It might be a Christmas card, it might not.